Yo! So the other day, Edmund Mcmillen, the main man himself, was streaming and talking about the new Kickstarter for the new Four Souls game, as well as some item lore. And you and me both know, we love some juicy, depressing Isaac lore. So that stream was about 2 hours long, so I'm going to shorten it down and stupidify it for you beautiful people. I'll leave a link for the stream in the description, don't worry. Now, let me get some things straight. You may already guess the lore of some of these items from their name, but do I care? No. Now let me begin. First thing he mentioned was Sad Onion. Sad Onion was Edmund's first item designed in Isaac. He designed it after thinking of something that would make you cry more. Since it's an onion, you know, onions make you cry. Anyways, moving on. Inner Eye is next. This is a reference to the third eye, gives you triple shot, pretty simple basis. After that was Spoonbender, which was a reference to Uri Geller. Uri Geller became a millionaire after gaining notice for demonstrating supposed psychokinesis with spoon bending on television. He has scammed thousands of people out of money for his magic bending abilities to his supposed mind reading, which he later backtracked on and said he can't. Shocking.
That would be incredible, would it not?
You see, I can only do things that you really concentrate on, studied it before, and really project it to me. I cannot sit right here or near you and know exactly what you're thinking about.
Visualize everything that you drew once more.
He claimed to read people's minds.
Cricket's head, which used to be Max's head, was the name of a cat that Edmund owned. Next we got My Reflection, which was one of the first tier modifiers in the game. It's simply Isaac seeing his reflection, breaking the mirror from his pure ugliness, and his tears having that boomerang effect since it's a mirror. Number 1. Edmund wanted this item to increase your tear rate but decrease your range, since you can't pee as far as you can shoot tears. Not my words. Next is Blood of the Martyr, which is a crown of thorns that Jesus wore. Brother Bobby is a reference to the Blue Baby, who was added before Blue Baby existed, which was a reference to Edmund's 2001 game on Newgrounds, Dead Baby Dress Up. This whole dead baby thing sure goes a long way. Halo of Flies was the first orbital item ever added to Isaac, which is a reference to a Melvin song. Jammer. 1-Up is a reference to Mario, duh. Magic Mushroom is a reference to Mario, duh. The Virus, which is a reference to AIDS, it's a reference to AIDS. ROID Rage, which is a reference to steroids. Isaac ain't missing out on them pumps. Heart was made from Edmund's traumatized mind after seeing a movie called Raising Arizona, in which a person says the only way to adopt a kid is to get the terrible ones, where there is then a kid with a heart born outside its chest. Yeah, that's, yeah. Raw liver was made for cannibalistic reasons. Delicious. Skeleton Key, which, if you have played any kind of game with stealth, you will know is a key that can open any door. Hence why you get 99 keys. To open any door, yeah. Next is Dollar, which gives Isaac 99 coins. This is due to the game limitation where at the time you could only hold up 2 99 coins, as well as a gesture to companies consistently tricking people by saying, hey, it's not $1, it's 99 cents, which in the eyes of someone like me is a complete bargain. Transcendence. You fly because Edmund thought it would be funny to have a head floating around, and quoting him, how else can you transcend this domain without a little bit of suicide? Which in Isaac realm makes sense. Then the Compass, which is a nod to the Legend of Zelda. Then is Lunch, which is probably cat food, which is signs of abuse and neglect. Dinner is after that, which is a can of dog food. And then followed by dessert, which is a bag of dog food. Then breakfast, which is curdled milk, which has a little Easter egg I never noticed. If you look close enough, you can see a little Isaac face, which is reference to back in the old days where people would put missing kids on milk cartons. Rotten meat is a reference to Zelda, in which you sell raw meat to a merchant. Wooden spoon and dad's belt, which I also referenced in a previous video, go watch now, are weapons used for abuse. Mom's underwear is reference to a kid finding his mother's underwear to wear and I guess become her. I don't know, man. Then it's mom's heels, which are red as a lot of women wore red heels back in the 80s, as well as mom's lipstick. Wire hanger is a reference to the movie Mommy Dearest, where a mother has a breakdown about wire hangers being used to hang clothes. It is also a reference to denying baby making. Then we got Book of Belial. Belial is a demon known as Satan in some religions. While researching this, I also found out that uncircumcised heathens are called sons of Belial. It's just an evil Bible. Necronomicon is a book of the dead, which is a nod to Evil Dead, which Edmund himself loves. Mr. Boom is a Bomberman's reference. Tammy's head is made after one of Edmund's cats, Tammy. Mom's bra, same as earlier, except the image flashed when used is a reference to a Ren and Stimpy episode where a man's ass is extremely detailed and grotesque. Bob's rotten head. We now know that Bob is his uncle, we think. Then we got Teleport, which is a nod to Spelunky's teleporter. Lucky Foot, Cain's foot, which is a reference to a rabbit's foot, which is carried as an amulet for good luck. Cupid's arrow was made as Edmund needed to make a penetrative tier system and needed a visual idea, so he made them look like a Native American, simple as. Shoop de Whoop is a reference to Fire in Malaysia. Steven is a reference to another Edmund-made game called Time Fuck. The Pentagram was made in honor of Edmund's friend Ollie in high school who had a necklace with a pentagram. Very cool. Magneto is a reference to Magneto, which was another design needed in the game so there was more access to items in rooms. Mom's eye shoots at the back of your head because mothers have eyes on the back of their heads. I'm sure you've heard it before. Lemon mishap. Edmund wanted Isaac to pee on the ground, so he used a lemon, in which Florian called it lemon mishap, which sounds strange to an American like him, so he kept that in. Book of Shadows. This is the Bible of the modern witch cavern. Charmer the Vampire turns you into a vampire as Edmund was a big fan of Dracula. Anarchist Cookbook is a real book which contains instructions for the manufacture of explosives, rudimentary telecommunications freaking devices, weapons, drugs. Should I be looking this up on Google? Sister Maggie, which has been quite confusing in lore terms, is in fact not Isaac's sister, but brother Bobby's, but also a possibility of Isaac's mom having a miscarriage. Growth hormones is steroids, but for short people. Mini Mush, Edmund need an excuse to shrink people. Cube of Meat is a way to create your own Meat Boy, which is a reference to Edmund's popular game Super Meat Boy. X-ray vision was a reference to the old crappy quote-unquote X-ray vision glasses from old comics you'd get, which were a scam. Book of Revelations is part of the Bible talking about the 4 horsemen, which is Edmund's favorite part. The mark is the mark of the beast, which is 666. The pact is a reference to selling your soul to Satan for a decent looking SpongeBob ice pop. Like seriously, how hard is it? Dead cat is a reference to Guppy, Edmund's real cat, as well as cats having 9 lives. Lord of the Pit is a Magic the Gathering reference. We Need to Go Deeper is a design Edmund wanted to let people have the option to skip levels. Little Chubby is a reference to one of Edmund's teen comics where Little Chubby was a penis. Spider Bite is a reference to scary stories to tell in the dark, where a girl gets a spider bite that looks like a normal red spot, but the spot kept growing and growing until it burst, and a swarm of tiny spiders came out of it. Yum! And the last 3 I got is Small Rock, which Edmund thought would look cool to have a rock in your head, Spelunker Hat, which is a reference to Spelunky, and Super Bandage, which is a reference to Bandage Girl from the hit game Super Meat Boy. Well, that's about all Edmund went through in the 2-hour stream, tuned down as short as possible. I really love the ideas behind some of these items, and not so much for some, but it's cool to see how passionate he is about the game. That's about all I got for you today. Just wanted to inform people who didn't watch the stream on some cool Isaac item lore facts. and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. Have a splendid day, and I'll see you whenever.